I want to start by thanking Chris and the IBO team. Maybe you start with a round of applause for them. So, following up to what Glib said, we see a huge amount of opportunity for billboard operators to increase your reach, increase your revenue yield by selling online. And to just describe in brief terms of what we do, our whole mission as a company was to help billboard owners increase their revenue by broadening the reach of the audience that's looking to buy ads. As far as where we come from, so we're a member of the OAAA, we're an advisory board member of the DPAA, we're the member of the Digital Signage Federation, and then this past DSE in March, we won Best Digital Signage Software at the Digital Signage Expo, which we were very proud of. But really, awards or history is not the story here. For us, if you guys don't recognize this, then get ready to smile. Because the whole idea for this presentation I'm going to show you, and us as a company, is to provide you with the power of more. And what better way to understand that or to see that than with this little backbone video.
Know what?
No, what?
I just switched to Geico and got more.
More?
Got a company I can trust.
That's a heck of a lot more.
Over 75 years of great savings and service.
You can't argue with more.
Why would you?
Ultimately, that's what it's all about. So for us, how we provide more. 3 key ways. 1, more advertisers finding and buying your ads. 2, we want more campaigns launched than ever before for the same inventory that you guys have. And then 3, transparency, where advertisers can find your inventory, buy it, and know what they're buying, all with a few clicks. But ultimately, again, the key is that it's all about more revenue. And in terms of where we came from and how this whole idea came about, so Bob Stockham is one of our co-founders. We're based in Las Vegas. He owns a few billboards in town. And he would look at the billboard occupancy rates, the revenue yields, and say, even when we're having a great month, if you look at the averages, there's always about 20 or 30% that's unsold. And sure, it's great to deliver overplay, but wouldn't it be great if we could take the 20 or 30% and make it available online? And so the idea of Adomni was born, it was about 7 years ago. And the idea of advertised omnipresence, where you can, as easily as booking a hotel room, find and buy ad space online and upload your ad and be on billboards. Now, he was ahead of his time, where you look at the world we live in now, and everyone is on their phones, and everyone is using technology or products and services to make their lives easier. And it obviously accelerated with Apple, but we live in the Amazon world, where you can get something in 2 business days from the moment you want it. Or even with Amazon Prime Now, you can get it within an hour or 2. And you look at this world, and you compare it to the world of digital out of home or out of home, and there's a pretty big gap. This is obviously a process diagram that you guys are really well familiar with, but if you compare buying something on Amazon or launching a Facebook campaign to this process, where an advertiser needs to locate a billboard, figure out who owns it, call or email during normal business hours, there's all these different steps, 10 steps to get someone from point A to point B. And there are a lot of advertisers that still want to buy off of relationships. We know that's never going to go away. But then there's a lot of other advertisers, to Lip's point earlier, the 98%, who aren't even considered out of home. It's not even an option in their ad budget spending. And so looking at who's winning right now, it's not about this process really that is the biggest concern and problem. The real problem is that if you were to put all of the online advertising, all the advertising into one pie, companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that we use every day in, day out, they're the ones that are winning right now. And we, on the billboard advertising side, are left picking up the crumbs of whatever tier 3 or tier 4 budgets are going out in the market. I think it's a huge, huge problem, and it's a reason why we built Adomni, why we're partnering with billboard owners. But if you look at the numbers, I mean, it's staggering. So video, which is the YouTube and the Facebook video, in the US only, people are spending $18 billion a year on that media. Compare that to digital out of home. How about search? Google, Bing, $46 billion a year in the US compared to 4.1. It's staggering, the differences. But this one is the most compelling to me, because to me, digital display ads, when you're browsing on New York Times or CNN, our closest cousin in the online world is 14 times bigger. I mean, we're barely an olive on the pizza. So for us, we look at this and we say, all right, here's the opportunity.
And interestingly, of the $56 billion worth of digital display ads that are sold every year, 80% of them are sold online. So over $46 billion a year are purchased programmatically or online. And if you want to know how that compares to digital billboards, less than 2% of digital billboards are bought online today. So there's a huge difference between the online world display ads and the online world of digital billboards. And it begs the question, why? Why is there such a difference between the two? And we believe the answer is that with digital display, video, and search, ads are bought. They're not sold. So advertisers are going out and choosing what they want on their terms for the audiences they want to reach, and they're buying them, as opposed to salespeople manually going through and selling to those same advertisers.
So to go from having crumbs of the pie to having a bigger slice of the pie, the Geico guy just popped up. So really, what does more mean? We see 3 things that completely change the way you guys are filling your boards. We're looking at static to digital conversions and ultimately making a lot more money. One is that the inventory has to be more accessible. It's not a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 process. The second is, you've got to make it more affordable. Google and Facebook have built their businesses on the backs of people being able to put a credit card into their platform and reach the audience they want to reach or the locations they want to reach on their terms. And lastly, we've got to solve the measurability piece. Even if you get 1 and 2, we nail that perfectly. If we can't tell the advertisers what they just bought in terms of audience, impressions, the real data, it's going to be a very uphill battle continuously. So what Adomni has done is we've created an online software that attacks all 3 of these, where first, it's not just about selling through us, but if you want to make your website a booking engine, just like a restaurant might add OpenTable to their website for people to make reservations on their website, we provide, as a software platform, a booking engine that you can embed into your site in literally less than 1 hour. 2, everyone's on their mobile apps now. We know that. I mean, look around the room, there's phones all over the place. So we offer the ability for you to have your own branded mobile apps for iOS and Android, where advertisers can find your inventory, just your inventory. They can pull their reports, and ultimately you can start sending notifications to them, whether it's specials if you're running a special because your inventory is not where it needs to be, or new locations that you just converted. So in our vision of the world, Adomni is a marketplace, just like the Blips and the Vistars, the guys here that want to help you as a third party. But we also want to empower you to make your own website, your own brand more valuable. In terms of the listing and selling unsold inventory, so a big question that comes up a lot of times is, okay, I'm interested in selling, but I don't want to take away from my own salespeople. I don't want to have to dedicate a slot out of my loop, and whether it's unused or it's partially used. So we created a solution that your salespeople, your inventory is always primary. And we are selling on an if available basis when you have unsold space. Big, big deal for everyone to be comfortable with the notion that we're here as a partner and not as a sales competitor. So that's on the accessibility piece. Affordability. 99.7% of businesses in the US, whether it's the baker on the right or the florist on the left, are small, SMBs. That's 29 million businesses. And again, Facebook and Google have cracked the code on letting someone with a $100 a month, a $500 a month, a $1,000 a month budget buy their ads. But we don't think we have yet. And a big piece of getting them to be able to buy is accepting a credit card. So for us, we look at it as, it's always nice to receive a check and not have to pay credit card fees. But if you can get paid up front or within 30 days, and you can open up the marketplace to reach 99% more people, it's worth it. So that's on the affordability side. Measurability. Later this year, we're going to be releasing our new audience planning tool. Every day, as everyone moves around the real world with their mobile phones, you're using apps, whether it's Waze, or Google Maps, or any one of your popular location-based apps. And that data is being stored. And a lot of companies have built businesses around anonymizing the data, storing it, and making it available to whoever is willing to pay for access to that data. Well, we are buying that data as a company, and we are making that available to our billboard operator partners so that you can, for the first time ever, understand who is the audience that's going by your billboard locations. And if you have an advertiser who says, I'm looking for females 40 to 60 that like a particular brand, using this new planning tool, it'll tell you here's the best locations out of your inventory that match their audience profile. So we're really excited about that. The second is we partnered with major audience measurement services, such as AdVertiser on the camera side, Abraxas, Get on the Wi-Fi side. But this is even better than the mobile data because it's actually tracking real time-based data that is all-encompassing. And it's fully integrated to our site. So when someone comes in and they say, I'm looking to do a campaign from this date to this date, through the AdVertiser technology, we'll say, here's how many vehicles passed by the billboard over that time frame. And here's your impression counts that isn't some audit that was done in the past, isn't some estimation from the Department of Transportation, but is actually real. So that's the second piece. And the third is what digital marketers are looking for. They want to have a report provided to the CFO, not just the CMO, but the CFO, that says, here's what I spent on my advertising, and here were the results. Here's who I actually reached. And so, it's no longer just, here's how many spots or how many ad plays were delivered. Now it's, it was 70% female, 30% male. It was these different age or income levels. And it's the kind of things that check the boxes when the digital marketers have to do their job, that they're making informed decisions based on performance. So all three of these things are what has been rolled up into the Adomni platform. And I'd like to share some case studies from actual real customers. We've got three examples. So Joe's Pizza. We never had a salesperson contact Joe's Pizza. Joe's Pizza passed by a billboard that was running Adomni software and saw to advertise here, visit, and Joe went online and he was looking for boosting up his lunch traffic. He did well on dinner, the lunch was weak. So he found the billboards that were within a 1 mile radius of his pizza spots, created an ad using our online creator online, and is now spending over $1,000 a month on Adomni promoting lunch pizza. And the big takeaway there was, when we talked to him, we asked him, why did you choose us? How did you choose Adomni? He said, I've never advertised in billboards, but I need to physically be in front of people when they're deciding where they want to go to lunch. And so he cut his Facebook budget to make room for billboard ads. Live Nation, which many of you might know, multi-billion-dollar concert company. Amanda Moore, she's responsible for Las Vegas, New York City, LA. And a big part of the concert business is trying to sell tickets, right? Well, for them, a lot of times, as they're getting closer to the concert date, there's unsold tickets, the same way we have unsold spaces. So what Amanda's doing is she's going to Adomni and she's just buying all the billboards she can in a 10-mile radius around where the concert's happening. And she's saying, go see Shania Twain tonight at Caesar's Coliseum. But the moment that she sells out that show, she's pausing it. Or she's moving her budget to a different billboard or a different piece of content because now her campaign is finished. It's that kind of flexibility, that kind of speed that people are demanding now. The connected worlds type of model. Premier Outdoor Media is a billboard client partner of ours. They've got about 160 static billboards in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. And they've got 10, soon to be 25 digital bulletins. They went forward with the all-in package where, so they're running Watchfire signs, they're converting existing statics to Watchfire. They're putting ad mobilized cameras on their billboards so they can quantify impressions. If you go to their website right now, Premier Outdoor Media, you'll see an ad that says buy ads. You see a link at the top that says buy ads. So now anyone who's driving down the freeway that sees their badge, it could be 7 o'clock at night on a Friday, can go on their website, click on buy ads, and literally launch a campaign from their own website today. And this is a brand new feature for mobile apps that we're launching this week, where they're also going to have their branded app where you go in the App Store, you search for Premier Media, and now on the deck of your phone, as an advertiser, you have their brand. So for them, it's how do you embrace technology, and it's the kind of thing where it's not just one vendor. It's not just Adomni's going to drive up all of our revenue builds. It's their own website, their own salespeople. It can be any number of the different DSPs that are here today. The key is more. This is an image of an ad-mobilized camera on a billboard partner of ours. So you can see it faces an intersection. You've got a couple different, you've got a stoplight, which is really great for billboard, 12 times. But the key was being able to answer the question, how many actual people saw my ads? Not what was an audited impression number by XYZ entity, but show me the actual numbers. And so this is what it looks like on Adomni, where this is, again, also brand new. On the board details page, we've linked in all the ad mobilized data, where you can see here at the bottom, on a given week, there are 78,000 vehicles that drive by the board. And if you extrapolate that out by an average occupancy of 1.7 people per car, and an average read time of 90 seconds because it's a stoplight, you're at 1.34 million impressions. That's the kind of data that digital marketers are looking for. Not the trust me or this is who we hired XYZ time ago, but these kind of graphs. Here's the flow of vehicles throughout the day. Here's the average hourly impressions. There's no guessing about it. It's real data. So, in closing, just to summarize some of the stuff that's coming, we've got the audience planning tool, which if you would be interested in seeing that, participating in our data, we'll give a booth and we'll be taking company names and info where if you want to profile your billboards, we can help you do that. If you want to have a tool to be able to actively, on demand, look at audiences based upon your lat longs of your billboards, we can do that. Within the next 6 months, we're going to be adding static billboards to the site as well. So it's not just buying digitals, but also you can do a multi-media type campaign. Obviously, there's a little bit of differences between the digital and the static, where there's the workflow that has to come into launching that. But ultimately, it's about empowering you, empowering agencies, empowering brands to have more accessibility, more visibility. Here in the room, we have several of our partners, AFFORDABILITY being one of them, Watchfire, a great company to work with, and obviously one of the market leaders in terms of digital billboard technology. The Soroka Group, Bright Sun, and we've done integrations, with nearly every of the major, manufacturers, so Daktronics, Prism View. So ultimately, our whole business model, and Larry, Grella, and Alex are here in our team, our sales and marketing folks, and this in the pink shirts. We'd be happy to sit down and talk with you guys about how to get it set up. But if you're interested in a mobile app, we normally charge $1,000 to set up the mobile app, put it in the App Store, get it released. But if you're interested in that, for this show, we're doing it for free. You just need to stop by the booth and sign up, and you'll have a mobile app within 1 to 2 weeks. And I finished by saying thank you. Thank you for your time, the opportunity to meet you all. Appreciate it.
So IBO and Adomni announced, a couple of weeks ago?
That's right.
That we've teamed up to make your life a lot easier in this whole DSP world. For those that are already apparatus users and already IBO co-op participants, Adomni, and our next speaker would be Jordan with Vistar. Similar boats where, again, we want to try to make your life as easy as possible. So whether or not it's these folks or other entrants that come into the platform over the years, we just want to make sure that we can make everything for you guys easy. And so right now we have, I described the portal that we have. There was a handful, I think Dahlia, Black Belt, ourselves, I'm thinking 5 or 6 other of our companies, Arnold Outdoor, have got their listings currently on the Adomni website under the IBO portal.
Yep, so it's just ibo.adomni.com if you want to see that. It basically just aggregates all the different IBO members into one place for people to do a search. They want to support independent billboard operators.
So where that's important for us is that we'll be able, when our team goes out, or whether somebody comes from his platform as an advertiser, we'll be able to go out on our marketing platform and say, right before Super Bowl, they want to take up an ad agency, somebody wants, 3 days right before the Super Bowl, how many digitals do we have available? We just pull up a quick search, we put an Adomni placement ad, boom, all of a sudden they go out over maybe 100, 200 of our faces, automatically programs up, programs down, and to the extent that it's more money than what you've currently got it sold for, a preemptible mechanism, it fits really nicely for the group. So that's right.
Absolutely. Any questions about Adomni or the platform? Sure.
How are your competitors going to stand out and be the, how are you competitors in your industry going to stand out or be the top of mind company, the media buyer or owner, business owner is going to go to your platform versus a competing platform?
Sure.
How do you keep that presence? That's flexibility.
Absolutely. You know, so for us, we look at it and we see, again, 98% available people to come into the market. So there's a huge opportunity, not just for us, but multiple companies like Blip, like this that are here today. So at the end of the day, it's about giving advertisers choices. The same way that if you want to book a hotel room, you can go to Kayak, Travelocity, Expedia, Orbitz. They all do it a little bit differently, but the name of the game is, how do people buy online? So for us, the user experience, the websites, the customer support, those are really big, important things for us from a brand. But ultimately, it's not about just us, it's about the advertiser being successful in launching their campaigns. And so yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
There should be a lot of overlap.
Potentially there can be, and this is where our IBO co-op platform, we're agnostic. And as Adomni, Vistar, they really don't mind who competes against them. With that big of a pie that's out there, anybody that connects up and can make your life easier, we want them to be able to, for you, the operator, the seller, the supply side platform, to be able to feel comfortable that it's easy and it doesn't matter that you're missing out. You're not going to dedicate yourself to one or the other. We want the market to decide. So whichever one works best for you is the one that you'll gravitate to in your particular market.